Proud to serve northeastern and central Pennsylvania. This is WNEP 16, the news station. Now, Nolan Johannes, Karen Harch, pilot Jack Rulin in Skycam 16, Chief Meteorologist Tom Clark, and Joe Zone on sports. This is Newswatch 16.
Unemployment in the state and the nation went up last month, but the experts aren't sure if it means anything. In the U.S., the jobless rate went up almost 0.5% to 7.5%. That means an additional 413,000 Americans joined the jobless rolls for a total of 8,543,000 unemployed. The total Americans with jobs is now just over 105 million. In Pennsylvania, the July unemployed figure jumped 1.3% and now stands at 9.9%. That's the second highest of the 10 largest industrial states. There are now 547,000 Pennsylvanians out of work, while just under 5 million do have jobs in our state.
While there were more of you out of work last month, one of the larger employers in northeastern Pennsylvania hopes to have 200 more people working next spring. We're talking about the Owens-Illinois plant in Luzerne County. Today it announced plans to expand production because sales are up. And as Newswatch 16's Marisa Burke tells us, the workers in our area have made the difference.
Charles Crane and Kathleen Mulhern were among 80 new employees brought on the job here last month at the Owens-Illinois plant in Pittston. They'll be joined by 200 new workers next year at the plant. During tough economic times, they understand what a multi-million-dollar expansion means for northeastern Pennsylvania.
And I was looking all over, and jobs are very scarce. I was up and down the whole East Coast looking for work, and just jobs are scarce, very scarce.
I know it's been hard to find a lot of jobs in this area. With Owens expanding now and everything, it does make a big difference. It means there's going to be a lot more jobs available in the area.
Owens-Illinois had plans to expand their plant in Ohio because officials say it would have been cheaper. What brought them here, officials say, is the commitment from workers in northeastern Pennsylvania. That commitment has meant a $30 million expansion project here where they make face panels for television sets. Officials here say the success has come from labor and industry working so well together.
Giving you kind of an incentive to work, that they do want to keep you on for a while. I'm glad that they gave me an opportunity to work here.
As one company official put it, the expansion here wasn't a money decision, but a people decision. Marisa Burke, Newswatch 16, Pittston.
As Newswatch 16 informed you earlier this week, 3 area officials went to Dallas, Texas this week, seeking some business for our area. So the question remains tonight, will American Airlines come to the Wilkes-Barre Scranton International Airport? Newswatch 16's Dan Fiorucci is live now at the airport. Dan, what have you found out?
Well, Nolan, Karen, as you can see, the place is empty at the moment, and some people feel it's too empty too much of the time. That's what's behind the efforts to lure a new airline to this area. So far, we don't know if those efforts have been successful, but we can say this much. Officials here have made their pitch to American Airlines. Now it's a question of wait and see. Kemp's DC-9 touched down little more than an hour ago. The airport director had been away in Dallas for a day and a half, and this evening, as he returned, he was optimistic.
It went very well. We accomplished the goal that we had set out, which was to open up a line of communications with American Airlines to acquaint them with the advantages of the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Airport, and hopefully in the long run that will lead to some type of service out of that airline in the future.
Kemp says the terminal at Wilkes-Barre Scranton has room for at least 2 more major airlines. He hopes American will make a decision to move to Avoca soon. Now, you may recall similar negotiations with People Express Airlines last year drew a promise from the cut-rate carrier that they would come here. So far, they haven't shown up. The hope is that these negotiations with American Airlines will prove more conclusive. Dan Fiorucci live with the Instacam at the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Airport. Karen?
Thank you, Dan. A Luzerne County man is flying high tonight, thanks in part to the Pennsylvania Lottery and a lot of luck. Stanley Zwotek of Ashley was among 10 finalists for the Baseball '84 Grand Prize drawing, who gathered here at the State Capitol building in Harrisburg. The 66-year-old retired coal miner didn't get the grand prize of $1,000 a week for life, but second prize, $25 grand, isn't bad. A grandmother from Harrisburg, Pauline Long, is the big winner, the Pennsylvania Lottery's latest instant millionaire.
We'll head to Allentown to see what impact the Olympics is having on a gym club. Those stories are next as Newswatch 16 continues.
The wheel is coming to WNEP.
After an investigation, the Unit 2 reactor at the nuclear power plant near Berwick is back in service tonight. Last week, the reactor was shut down during testing at the Luzerne County plant. PP&L now blames the shutdown on operator error. To prevent the problem from happening again, PP&L says it has installed more detailed switch labels. The Nuclear Regulatory Commission okayed the restart of the Unit 2 nuclear reactor. For the third time since June, a federal judge has said no to requests for grand jury records on TMI. This time, it's protesters who have been turned down. 8 of these demonstrators asked for secret grand jury files on 3 Mile Island. All 8 were arrested last year when they tried to block the entrance to the nuclear power plant in Dauphin County. The protesters say they need the files to prove their demonstration here was justified, but Judge William Caldwell ruled the need for keeping the TMI files secret outweighs the defendants' arguments.
There are many issues that tear Americans apart, but there is one that draws them together, the Olympics. Americans have won 2 team medals in gymnastics at the LA Games, and Newswatch 16's Bob Costantini reports that increased interest in gymnastics has the phone ringing off the hook in Allentown.
You won't see any gymnasts from the Parkett School in the Olympics this year, but the school's reputation for outstanding training is known well beyond Allentown. And with the success of America's gymnastics teams in the LA Games, phones in the Parkett's office are busy.
But a lot of the things are being filled up so very quickly that I really feel it would be to your advantage to come in and do it.
A few hundred such calls since the Olympics began have tied up the phone lines here. Some boys and girls are lucky enough to already be in the school. 4-year-old Candy Marks is well on her way, perhaps, to some future Olympics.
Jump up on the bar, push yourself real tall, squeeze your legs together.
For this year, Candy's been watching carefully.
She tries to do what they do on the TV. She loves them.
Do you have dreams of someday, perhaps?
Yeah, I do. When I watch the Olympics, sometimes I sit there and I wonder, and I really hope that there is a future for her because she is gymnastic-natured.
And this is where a proud mother's dream starts, far removed from the glamour of Olympic competition. But then anyone can dream.
It's really a lot of organized fun. Now, one thing's for certain, there's no future Olympian on this balance beam, but who knows about the rest of the young people here. Bob Costantini, Newswatch 16, Allentown.
Waiting for him to do a cartwheel off it or something.
My Bob,
at least he could walk on it.
Bob has big toes, hasn't he?
Our meteorologist Paul Heppner is next with the weather.
Paul, will you be able to...
How can you beat that?
I might have to do a balancing act too if I don't get rid of the rain.
Right.
Looks like we've got a half and half weekend coming up. If you're planning on fertilizing your lawn, might be in trouble. I'll tell you when the showers will be ending when we come back.
Hey, Joe.
All right, we're making some plans for the weekend. Not together now, okay? But
we'll
that's not a bad idea, right? We'll have to get our husband and wives together. Right. Okay, how about it? What are our plans going to be like?
You going to fertilize your lawn this weekend, Nolan?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
No, I'm not, right?
No, I don't think you want to because there will be a few showers around. If you want to head out for a barbecue or something like that, you might be able to sneak that in between some of the showers that we'll have this weekend. Looks like gradually the weather will be drying out a little bit, not humidity-wise, but in terms of rainfall. Right now, I'm out in the backyard without any rain showers. I have a feeling if I stay out here for much longer, I might have some rain. Let's take a look at those current readings right now. High temperature is what our current reading is, 79 degrees. Relative humidity, moist, 76%. Winds are from the west at 6 miles per hour. The air quality today was moderate. Low temperature last night, a very uncomfortable 70. Normal high is 82. Okay, now let's take a look at our satellite picture for you this evening, showing you why we've had lots of rainfall here in the Northeast. A moist flow coming up out of the Gulf of Mexico, then swinging around like that. 4 inches of rain reported until noontime in Butler County. They've got some flash flood problems out there in western Pennsylvania. But you can see that as we go back to the west, there isn't much in the way of breaks, and so I can't be overly optimistic for the weekend. However, there are some breaks in the clouds, and that means that once in a while we'll be able to see that sun peek through. Okay, here's the current temperatures across the state of Pennsylvania, where the cloud cover readings are only in the 70s right now. 79 at Wilkes-Barre, Scranton. Bradford, cool, 68 degrees. And where there's a little more sunshine up in eastern New York State, temperatures are a little bit warmer, up into the 80s. And I think that with a little more sunshine tomorrow, we'll see temperatures that will be in the 80s as well. Okay, for tonight, occasional showers. They'll be hit or miss, much like what we had today. Some folks will see them, some folks won't, and they're not going to be around all the time. Low temperature, very, very muggy. Downtown will be around 70, but in higher elevations like Glen Summit and Oakland, 67 degrees. Roaring Branch at 68. Coming up for tomorrow, a grab bag of weather, we'll call it. There's going to be some sun, some clouds, and a few showers as well, although not quite as many showers tomorrow as what we had today. High temperature readings should be a little bit warmer if we get enough sunshine. Fingers crossed, enough sunshine. 85 degrees in Chinchilla, a lot of clouds in Franklindale, 78 degrees. Treverton at 86. Okay, sunrise and sunset for tomorrow. Sunrise, we don't have that for you. So we're going to bring the forecast board across for you tonight and show you that we've got fog and showers, especially dense in the ridges, 70 degrees. Not much change coming up through the weekend. Less showers as we head into Sunday. Partly sunny skies. Temperatures getting milder each day. And humid weather will continue into Monday. Temperatures will be in the 80s. So Karen and Nolan, certainly not a washout this weekend, but not the sunniest weekend either.
Oh, darn.
All right, Paul.
We'll work on it for 11.
Thank you, sir. Coming up, Joe Zone with the sports tonight and an Olympic update, plus an answer to the complaints of the International Olympic Committee.
And Joe will have a sports challenge from the Scranton Eagles.
Good news. Pat Sajak and Vanna White will be joining the WNEP family.
That's right, Jane. Wheel of Fortune will make its debut on Channel 16 immediately following PM Magazine's weeknights at 7:30.
Following? You mean you're on first?
Who's on first? We're on first.
Well, as you can see, that'll be a tough act to follow.
Join Jane and me for PM Magazine at 7 o'clock.
Then join Vanna and me for Wheel of Fortune. That's at 7:30. That's every weeknight right here on WNEP TV 16.
Watching some of the Olympics today, saw a little bit of field hockey, track and field stuff.
That is just the beginning. 19 medals will be given out tonight. That's the busiest yet. Also, the start of track and field competition. You'll see plenty of that during tonight's coverage. Lots of hurdler Edwin Moses and sprinter Carl Lewis, too. Now, you might think in the sprints the guy who runs the fastest wins. It's not necessarily true. Sometimes it's the strongest runner. From the starting blocks, the sprinter takes off, reaching maximum speed at about 50 yards. The feet are now touching the track 7 times per second. The racer who is strong enough to more nearly maintain top speed to the finish will win. They all slow down the last third, but the winner seems to surge ahead. In fact, the rest are really falling back. Also on our coverage tonight, which begins at 7 o'clock, women's gymnastics, individual competition there, swimming, boxing, and men's basketball. And while we're enjoying all of this great TV, the International Olympic Committee is criticizing it. The IOC says ABC's coverage is too American-oriented. It says ABC is hurting the international flavor of the games. That's pure crap. Of course the coverage is pro-American. Have you seen the medal standings lately? The U.S. has 39. That's more than twice as many as any other country. It would be pretty darn tough not to emphasize America's showing now, wouldn't it? The IOC's complaint is nothing but political garbage. Okay, some important baseball played this afternoon. Let's check a couple of scores in baseball. Montreal leading first place Chicago, 5-4. They're in the 8th. Phillies, Cards, Mets, Pirates tonight. American League, Yankees are at 500, best record since the All-Star break, and they are 0-0 in the third, first of a doubleheader. Well, the Scranton Eagles open up their football season Sunday night, 7 o'clock, Scranton Memorial Stadium. I dropped in on a practice yesterday, and while I was there, took up a challenge to play quarterback. You only have to look around the Eagles' practice session to realize it would be a really silly thing for a 5'7", 165-pounder to try and mix it up with these guys. There were assurances, however, that the contact would be minimal.
Defensive line, their offensive line's just going to take a one-step drop. That's it, a one-step drop. You know, no pursuit, no resistance. Let them do it, okay?
Coach Rader then went through a couple of plays with me.
And he's going to run an offside hook.
And some quick instruction on receiving the snap.
All right, you can get even closer than that. You're too far away.
Everything was ready for my debut as Eagles quarterback. All right, let's go. Come on. Ready, Burke!
Go Honesdale.
Ready!
Move, move, move!
Set!
Move!
Hut!
One out. Come on, Sammy. Come on.
For some reason, maybe they were standing in a hole, or maybe I was, but I had trouble seeing my receivers. Another reason why little guys are field goal kickers. I figured what the heck, I couldn't see these guys bunched in the middle, so I sent them long.
Okay, bring in Mark, quarterback. Mark, slow!
Ready! Set! Hut!
Take your time, man. The other way.
It's pretty obvious this quarterbacking business is easy stuff, especially when the line doesn't rush and the defensive backs don't cover. It's not that easy. Scranton Eagles open on Sunday, and if you got a sports challenge, send it to me here on a postcard of the station and see if we can get it done. That's all of it. Give tonight your best shot. I'll see you after the Olympic coverage. Looking forward to track and field tonight.
Oh, yeah. You may have a new career budding here.
Sure. Well, a lot of guys, you know, give up sportscast or give up football and become sportscasters.
That's true. The
Switch it
reverse
around.
is only fair. Absolutely. Okay, friends, that's Newswatch 16 for a Friday.
Be sure to join us tonight on The Update.
We're going to leave you now with the kids and their pets tonight.
Enjoy your evening.